presentation, but I haven't informed about regarding the assignment for all of you. Then I will inform you soon. Maybe at the end of this week or after this meeting, I will inform you about our schedule, especially your assignment for the next meeting. Okay, today I will discuss about the mitigation first because I haven't discussed it before for the previous meetings. Wait a moment, I will share the screen. This one. Okay, can you see this screen?
Yes, Pak.
Okay, thank you, Nicholas. Today we will discuss about the mitigation of hazard sources in the workplace because this is a mandatory topics for our course today for the fourth week. For the research background, if we want to discuss about the mitigation, we have studied before about the safety. We know that safety is the top priority in all operational activities. So in every activities, for each activities, we should consider about the safety. Safety first, for example. Yeah, because this is like what is it? It is like a motto, we know that safety first is the important things. For every industry, they will concern about the safety. If they cannot provide a safe workplace, they cannot do anything at that time. So concern with the safety, this is the important thing. This is a top priority for all operational activities. That's why if we concern about the safety, we also concern about the workplace. We concern about the number of the accidents. And we know that workplace accidents and natural disasters can cause many things. For example, like a physical harm, material loss, and also even fatalities. So the most important why we concern safety, because we try to provide this safe action, safe workplace, so we can try to we can reduce and also remove many physical harm and also material loss and even fatalities. That's why if we want to provide a good workplace for our operators, we should consider about the mitigation. For the proper mitigation is the key to preventing and reducing the impact of hazard sources. The most important today, the most topic for our discussion today is about mitigation. So if we want to discuss a mitigation, we try to prevent and reducing the impact. That's why in mitigation, we try to minimize the risk. Based on this reason, today we will discuss about the mitigation related to how to raise awareness. Because if we study about mitigation, we can improve our awareness, especially for the operator in the workplace, especially awareness of various hazard sources in the work environment. Then, if we study about the mitigation, it helps us equip staff with standard mitigation knowledge and practices, and also foster a strong company-wide safety culture. As mentioned before, I have informed you, I have mentioned that safety culture is the important things. Safety is the top priority. If we can provide the safety as a culture, so all of the stakeholder of our industry, they have a good awareness there. And also they can try to obey the standard operating procedure, the rules when they work there. And then if we have a good knowledge, if we have a good awareness, if we have a good standard mitigation related the knowledge and also practices, we can provide a safety culture. For our agenda today, we will discuss about 4 types of mitigation. For the 4 types of mitigation, we'll cover 4 main topics. For the first, earthquake hazard mitigation. So related with the earthquake, and then continue for the next discussion. We will discuss about fire hazard mitigation. Jump to the fall from hail hazard mitigation. This is a third mitigation for today. And then the last is about the machinery hazard mitigation. Yeah. For the four main topics, first we will discuss earthquake hazard mitigation. We know that, yeah, I think earthquake, yeah, especially the country located in a ring of fire, it is common things. For Ahmed, is it the common things, Ahmed, for earthquake in your country?
So, but actually, it's rare happen there.
Israel. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
We know that earthquake strike without warning, so we don't have any information. For example, oh, at that time, at 5, there will be have an earthquake at that place. For example, we cannot mention like that because the earthquake strikes without warning. Maybe we get the warning from our application, for example, especially for our government. Sometimes they send message, and then yeah, but it comes only 2 minutes, maybe or 1 minute before earthquakes. That's why in this slide they can mention that earthquake strike without warning, and the primary danger of the earthquakes is often not shaking itself. It is not about shaking only, but we should consider about many things based on earthquakes. We should consider about the collapsing structure and also shattered glass and also falling furniture or equipment. Because yeah, if our workplace, for example, our area is shaky, something like that, yeah, we should consider others because yeah, in our workplace, in our building, yeah, they have structure sometimes can be collapsed, and also about many glass, about the window or some things can be shattered, and then many furniture and also equipment can be fall. That's why we not only about consider about the shaking. Shaking, yeah, it's okay, shaking, but what should we do next? That's why if we consider about the earthquake hazard, we should have a kind of procedure, and then we should consider many because yeah, don't put anything in the top of the cabinet or something. For the pre-earthquake phase, this is the phase for prevent about the condition. It is a prevention stage. It called as a pre-earthquake phase. At that time, we should ensure heavy cabinets, racks, and the items are securely anchored to the walls. So better we try to anchor many things, especially for the big heavy cabinets and also racks, anchored to the walls because yeah, they can hold. That's why sometimes we choose like fully furnished house, especially yeah, better than if by like the furniture one by one and then different style, for example, design, and then we just put better we anchor this rack, this cabinet to the wall. Then, especially for the heavy object, please do not place heavy objects on the top shelves. Yeah, because can be fall. Wait a minute, sorry. And then if we consider about the heavy objects, later we consider about the familiarize yourself with evacuation routes. Because yeah, we should understand how to run, especially when we want to try the way, especially when earthquake happened. Yeah, please try to find the designated assembly point. That's why if we have a submitting, for example, for a conference in our building at Industrial Engineering Building in the 6th floor, we always try to introduce the safety induction because we hope, okay, for many students, I think should be fine because they understand about the layout for the building, especially for our building in Industrial Engineering Building. In GTI, we know, in GTI, in Gedung Teknik Industri, we understand, about the layout. Where is the way? Where is the emergency exit? We understand about this. Even sometimes, especially for the emergency exit in the 5th and also 3rd floor, we cannot open by ourselves, right? Still locked by the staff. But for the worst case, we understand how to find the emergency exit instead of floor 5th floor and also 3rd floor. That's why if we try to give a kind of safety induction, we try to share about the information about the way out during the earthquake or others, maybe for the fire or something. That's why safety induction, it is the important thing. If we have any activity in our school, in our building, in our auditorium, please share the information about the safety induction. Then, provide the emergency exit itself. And then, during the earthquake, please, yeah, yeah. How to provide, if we provide a better, the best assembly line, we should consider about the kind of tree or building. We should find it is like a yard, right? Like even if we have a assembly point in our building, if, for example, in the worst case, they provide the assembly point near with the tree, right? The highest tree. But if the earthquake, it is not the best way because you know that, for the tree can be fall, right? And can be collapse, for example. Not only the tree, but sometimes for the buildings. That's why if we choose this area as an assembly point, please consider about the area without, what is it? Intinya yang bersih. Dalam arti jauh dari pohon sebetulnya, jauh dari gedung, sehingga when they fall, when the building is collapsed, it's still safe. But if we choose the assembly point near with the big tree, for example, it is not the good ones. Understand what I mean? Yeah, it is kind of field, if possible. But sometimes, because in our school, in our university, there are too many building, right? So we don't have enough space, especially for the assembly point. But when I compare with my school before at Taiwan, in NTUST in Taiwan, they provide this assembly point in the center of the university. It is like a field. It is like like do you know lapangan rektorat? Yeah, something like that. This is the place for assembly point. So at that time when we do kind of a simulation, many student goes there. They gave some of like a kind of procedure send to the email, send like they print it, and then send to the dormitory, to the student in the dormitory, and then they have some procedure. Please, when the alarm is ringing, and then please run to the center of the what is it? Yeah, this is the center of the university. This is the center of the assembly point. It is kind of field, something like that, far from the building, far from the highest object, something like that. That's why it's safe. But we know that in our school, they placed kind of assembly point close to the big tree, something like that. So if kind of for example, for the wait. For the fire, especially if it happened, yeah, it is easy, right, for the assembly. But for earthquake, it is not the good ways, because yeah, sometimes if you know in front of our building, the assembly point close with the big tree. For the big tree, when we have a kind of earthquake, I think yeah, we should consider with others, because they can be collapse or going down. You know, what do you think? Any what is it? Comment, Satrio? Okay, you're welcome. Okay, continue for the next slide. Yeah, during the earthquake, we should consider many. For example, during the earthquake, please consider about this step, especially for try to drop, cover, and hold on. Drop to the ground, and then take cover under a sturdy desk to protect your head and neck. So the important things during the earthquake, please consider with your head and also your neck. And then hold on until the shaking stops. And then stay away from the glass windows, tall cabinets, and stable partition. Then stay calm and do not run outside while the building is still shaking. But this is a kind of procedure. But sometimes when it happened, when earthquake happened, yeah, it is not easy, because based on my previous experience, yeah, at that time, yeah, running is the best way, in my opinion. Even at that time, yeah, my friend, my colleagues from especially for the Taiwanese, uh, he remind me, please, for the next, if earthquake happens, please stay calm, but try to find like what is it? This is under the table. Please goes to the under the, yeah. Try to drop yourself to the ground. Find the space under the table, and then cover your head and also your neck, and hold until the shaking stops. But it is quite difficult. I have tried before, because at that time, yeah, when I stay in the 14th floor, yeah, it is quite no, it is difficult, because yeah, in my thought, yeah, better I choose run, yeah, try to find a way, especially for the emergency exit. But when we stay in the 14th floor, it is difficult to reach the first floor. That's why, yeah, my friend also suggests. But later also, but this is the what is it? This is yang paling parah ya. At that time in the first year for my study, but later, yeah, I think, yeah, I can adapt about the condition better than before. Yeah. For the post the earthquake phase, for the evacuation, later once the shaking stop, please evacuate immediately using the emergency stairs. And then strictly prohibited, please do not use the elevators. Assist a vulnerable or injured colleagues only if it is safe to do so. Then proceed to the assembly point for the head count. And then for the next, this is our mitigation for earthquake. And then for the fire hazard, especially for the fire hazard, yeah, we should consider the triangle, the fire triangle, or we call it as segitiga api, the fire triangle. But the fire triangle requires 3 elements to ignite and sustain. For the first, about fuel. So please consider about the fuel. It means if there are kind of pepper, wood, or other chemicals, yeah, this is the important things because the fire came from there. And then especially please consider about the oxygen. For the oxygen, yeah, it always present in the air. That's why fuel, oxygen, we should consider about this. If we have a lot of pepper, if we have a lot of wood, so many chemical, please consider that we should have a procedure how to prevent kind of fire. And then not only about the fuel and also oxygen, but we also consider about the heat sources. For the heat source, it means it is kind of electrical short circuits, and then cigarettes, then kind of frictions. At the time, yeah, please, if we consider about this, yeah, we can try to provide a good standard operating procedure because if we have a lot of paper, for example, in our room, if yeah, for the mitigation, especially for the fire hazard, yeah, the paper is more easy than the other parts. That's why it called as a triangle, fire triangles, because easy to burn. And then for the wood also, and also the chemicals. So for the mitigation, based on 3 aspects, based on fire triangle, try to keep these 3 elements separated from one another. Especially especially for the paper, for example, with the cigarettes. For the paper, for the wood with the cigarette also. We should have a mitigation, try to keep this separated from one another because they have a connection between pepper, wood chemicals, and oxygen, and also heat source, especially for the common thing, it is about the cigarettes. From some of industry, they have a problem about the fire because the cigarettes. That's why, yeah, please consider about this. That's why sometimes they have a rule. No, yeah, it is a prohibited for this, and they cannot provide this kind of smoking area because sometimes, yeah, this is the 3 important things that can produce fire. And then for the fire prevention, especially during not only for everyday activity, for the fire prevention, we try to conduct a routine inspection, especially for the electrical installation, and then to prevent the short circuits. Because the short circuit sometimes, for the cable, and then the seal, we need to make sure about the connection between one cable to others, and then we strictly adhere to no smoking rules, for example, in high risk areas. And then we try to store flammable chemicals according to the safety data sheets. So that's why try to write any information in our workplace, it is the important things, because we try to make information to provide the data. It is about the safety data sheets. If we have information about the safety data sheets, yeah, we can to provide the mitigation. What should we do? How to keep them so we can provide the safe workplace. Not only a safe workplace, but we also consider about the safe action and safe behavior. And then for the fire protection system, we know that for each location, for each room, each workshop, workplace, we know that we should provide kind of fire extinguisher. For the fire extinguishers, or we call it as APAR, alat pemadam api ringan. Yeah. For the fire extinguishers, yeah, please remember the important. This is the acronym. It called as PASS method. So for the PASS method, this is the steps. For the first, please pull the pin. Tarik pin yang ada di dalam fire extinguishers, and then aim the base, and then squeeze the trigger, and then sweep side to side. This is the step called known as a PASS. Pull the pin, aim the base, squeeze the trigger, and sweep side to side. And we know, especially for our building, in industrial engineering building, they provide smoke and also heat detectors. So for the smokes and heat detectors, we hope that they can help us to make as an indicators if there are kind of smoke and also overheat, something like that, they can remind us. And then please build fire hydrants. This is the important things also. Provide the fire hydrants, and I think in our building we have in front of our building near the gate for parking area in the corner. At that time, they try to make a simulation how to operate, and then we know that this fire hydrant, they can reach 7th floor. We have simulated about the hazard if it happen, and we know that this hydrant in front of in our building can reach for the water can reach until the 7th floor, because this is the mandatory. This is this procedure. If we have fire hydrants, these hydrants can reach for each floor, start from the first until the highest one. This is the fire protection system. And then for the emergency procedure during the fire, please trigger the nearest fire alarm. So please try to find the button for the fire alarm, and then possible short fire. And then if there is a small and contained, use a fire extinguisher, but do not take risk if the fire grows. It happens, please run away. And then if the room fills with smoke, yeah, please evacuate by crawling. Also, if earthquake happen, better we choose crawling than running, because for crawling it's more easy. And then as the cleanest air is near the floor, try to find the cleanest air in near the floor, and then try to go outside. For the fire evacuation procedures, we know, we can use emergency stairs, but never use for the elevators. And then for the fire evacuation, if possible, we use emergency stair, and then try to close door behind you to slow the spread of smoke and fire, but do not lock them. So if, for example, if other friends inside and they try to reach the door, yeah, they can open by himself or herself. So they can use this door for go out. And then as a emergency exit. Then for the proceed directly to assembly point for head count. Most of fire evacuation, we still consider about the assembly point, but sometimes for the evacuation only concerned with the building, right? But for the earthquake, it is more difficult because for the earthquake, it is not only concerned with the building, but for the earthquake, we are also concerned about the surrounded area because it happened not only in our building, right, for the earthquake, but in the some of area. That's why sometimes even this we decide as an assembly point. Sometimes if they have like a crack, yeah, we cannot decide this place as assembly point. But if the Richter scale, Scala Richter, or the Richter scale is no more than, for example, yeah, if they have a lowest impact, yeah, we can decide, we can use the assembly point before. But sometimes if they have a problem there for the assembly point, yeah, please just find the safe place. For example, in the field, far from the tree, from the building, because sometimes they can collapse, right? That's why, yeah, please consider the safe place. But sometimes for the fire evacuation, it is more easy if we want to find the assembly point because we know if consider with the fire, it is only concerned with one building sometimes. But for earthquake, we also consider about surrounding area. Any question? Good, yeah. Okay. Sorry. Please wait. For the next discussion, for the fall from height hazard mitigation. So for the mitigation, we have 4 topics for aspect, especially first based on the earthquake. It is earthquake mitigation, and then fire. For the next is about the fall from height hazard mitigation. Yeah, we know that if we discuss about the mitigation, it is discuss about how to reduce the risk, how to eliminate the risk. Try to reduce, try to eliminate. So we try to minimize. If possible, we try to eliminate the risk. In the working at the Hague, include tasks on scaffolding, ladders, roof, or near open holes or edge. Yeah, the risk about falls, it possible happen. So falls are one of the leading causes of the workplace fatalities. Yeah, because because of the gravitation and many reasons, the fatalities come from the false aspect. And then this is also include the risk of dropped object hitting workers below. So please consider also if we put something in the top shelves, yeah, please consider the risk when this object drop hitting the workers below. That's why in the previous slide, especially for the earthquake mitigation, we also consider please do not put heavy objects at the top of the cabinet, of the top of the drawer or something, because they can hit the workers below. And then for the for engineering and administrative controls, sometimes to prevent the fall, we try to install guard rails. Guard rails on the outer edge of elevated work areas. Yeah, because the guardrails, yeah, they help to hold our body, right? So in the corner or the outer edge of elevated work areas. And then try to cover floor holes with strong materials. Consider with cover floor holes with strong materials and install clear warning signs. Sorry. So the clear warning sign, this is important things. Even we have cover it, please give information, especially for the warning signs. That's why, for example, when our staff in our school, in our building, they try to sweep the floor and then put the information like a sign, yellow sign, and then the information, please, it is a slippery, something like that. And then for if you for especially for the operators, or if the operator uses scaffolding, please consider they only use scaffolding that has been inspected, because sometimes, yeah, like a corrosion, there can be a problem later. And then, if possible, also, but I think it's a procedure. Please only use a scaffolding that has been inspected and features a green tag. So if you put a green tag in the scaffolding, so it's safe for use. So, for example, if other operators, they want to use this scaffolding, they can decide easily because they got information, because the green tag was there. Yeah, they can use the scaffolding safely. So if we consider about this standard operating procedure, yeah, we can provide a safe workplace for all of stakeholder in our organization, in our company. Then not only about how to provide the information, especially about the tag or something like install the guardrails, but we should provide kind of personal with protective equipment or PPE for the heat. So please mandatory. It is a mandatory use of a full body harness. So full body harness is a mandatory things. Never just a safety belt. It is not good way. Then not only full body harness, but it is please provide also double lanyard equipped with a shock absorber. For the lanyard, it is like a hook. For the double lanyard, so we have two parts in the right and also in the left, and the right side together. We can use, and then we try to hold using this lanyard. It is like, yeah, something like that, and they can hold. If we have pipe, they can hold in the pipe something like this, and hold our body or hold yeah, later they can hold our body because they have like a, what is it, spin. Yeah, this lanyard, they have a hook, and this hook can hold us later if the worst. Yeah, sometimes if the operators fall, yeah, they can hold with this lanyard. Why we? Yeah, in this slide they said double lanyard because we should have two. Because sometimes when we try to move, going down, and then we try to move this lanyard, for example, the one move to the next step, we still have one. But sometimes if we only have one lanyard only, when they feel like a DC or something, yeah, the operator can be fall. But if we have two, the one lanyard still hold and then help the operator if they feel dizzy or something or headaches and they cannot concentrate very well, they cannot focus very well to hold himself. Yeah, the lanyard can help if they have double lanyard with shopper. The concern is about the double lanyard. So we should have two because yeah, for the first, when we move to other step, if the left side is unworked, yeah, we can consider with the second one in the right side. It work help us to hold. If yeah, sometimes we feel fatigue or something. Then secure a hook to a strong anchor point, and then ideally positioned above head level to minimize the fall distance. So if we want to put the lanyard, please put above the head level. Yeah, because the lanyard, the length of the lanyard, yeah, it is only 1.8 meters. So based on the information at this, yeah, before the class, I tried to check in YouTube, and they inform us that the length of the lanyard, the maximum length is 1.8 meters only. So if we put under over above the head level, yeah, if 1 meter, yeah, it is minimize the fall distance. And then put in the upper body, especially the head level, not in the close of the chest or something. And then for the ladder safety procedure, always maintain 3 point of contact. For the 3 point of contact, it means if you use the stairs, for example, like sorry, not the stair ladder, I mean, 2 hand and 1 foot, or 2 feet or our feet, 1 hand. So if we apply this procedure with 3 point of contact, we can hold our body very well. So consider only one can be released. Still 2 hand on one and 1 foot, or 2 feet and 1 hand. And then do not carry heavy items in your hands while climbing a ladder. And then ensure the basis of ladder is placed on flat, stable, and non-slip surface. Yeah, this is a short explanation, especially when we consider about the mitigation for the fire hazard. Any question? Oh, good.
Oh, good, Pak.
Oh, good, Pak.
Okay. And then the last, for the last, it will inform us about the machinery hazard mitigation. For the machinery hazard mitigation, I think, yeah, it is also common things, especially for the manufacturing industry. Please try to identify the hazard because at that time, if we understand about the hazard, we can give some prevention. Because in the machinery hazard, we should consider the primary risk, including pins or nip points, and then entanglement, crushing, and also cutting. So for the pinch point, this is the important. Sometimes in bahasa we call it as terjepit, and then salah, terjepit, and then entanglement. Wait a moment. Sorry. Iya, betul terjepit. And then entanglement itu lebih mengarah ke ini apa namanya eh winding for terbelit, for the entanglement. And then crushing it is like terdesak, tertekan dengan benda tertentu. Kemudian cutting itu terpotong gitu ya. So based on pins, entanglement, crushing, and also cutting, this is the primary risk, especially for the machinery hazard. So we try to move a machine part, stop dangerous mechanical energy. Then if we consider about this, we try to provide a machine guarding. So please ensure all machine guards and also cover are properly installed before operation. So if the error happen, it can minimize the risk. For example, in workshop, especially for balancing for the wheel in kind of a car workshop is at bengkel, at body repair, for example, in Auto 2000 or other sometimes when we try to make the tire, the wheel, the tire is balance the tire, they have a cover, right? When they check about the balance using the balancing machine, with using this machine, they try to cover it is like a guard, like a cover, to protect the operators. And then please never modify, remove, and also bypass machine safety systems, such as interlock switches. And then please wear appropriate PPE, personal protective equipment, and strictly avoid loose clothing, ties, or jewelry near rotating machinery. And then for the system, they have a procedure it called as LOTO, LOTO, lock out, take out. So this is a mandatory procedure. For the lock or take out, it is a mandatory procedure when cleaning, repairing, or maintaining machinery. So the purpose of the procedure is to ensure all energy sources, for example, like electrical, mechanical, and also hydraulic, are fully isolated. Please make sure all of the electrical, mechanical, hydraulic fully isolated and locked out. So the machine cannot accidentally start during the maintenance. Then apply personal locks and warning tag to energy isolation devices. So that's why it called as lock out, to lock out, to switch it off, or anything to ensure all energy sources are fully isolated or it can be switched off. And then make sure, please give a tag give the information, give the green text, something like that. And then this is the information, this is the warning to the energy isolation devices. And then next, for the competence and the standard operating procedure, only for trained and also authorized personnel are allowed to operate or perform maintenance on machinery. And then always follow the manufacturer SOPs, conduct the pre-trip or pre-operation inspections before starting every shift. That's why for each industry, for each company, especially for the manufacturing, before the operation, they have a kind of inspection first, and the leader try to brief. They have a morning briefing, something like that. They provide brief, especially for the operator, all of the operator, and then the manager gives some instruction, try to remind something, try to remind the SOP, and then give a note if they have some fault or something before. Then they have a pre-trip and pre-operation inspection first before starting every shift. And then they give some information like a report from the previous shift to this shift. For example, for the morning shift to the evening shift, for example. This is the competence and standard operating procedure. So SOP, this is the important thing. So they can give information, many report can be informed to the next shift. So based on our discussion, based on my explanation today, we know that, this is the important things. First, about the earthquakes, rely on preparedness and stay calm. Please remember, drop, cover, and put on. This is the three words, the three important words. Drop, cover, put on. Later, if I try to give some question, especially for the midterm exam, please consider drop, cover, put on for the earthquake mitigation. And then if we discuss about fire, for the fire mitigation, consider about fire triangles. For the fire triangle, we understand there is a fuel and then there is an oxygen. Plus, what else? Fuel, oxygen, and masih ingat Satrio?
Fire source.
Heat source, fire source, it's okay. So we consider what the fire source, heat sources, fuel, oxygen, and heat source. And then for the height, consider about mandatory use of guardrails and also full body harnesses. And then in the previous explanation, I have mentioned that not only about consider about the full body harnesses, but also consider about what this is. It's like a hoop. This one. Oh, I haven't give a picture. Let's see. Wait. About the double lanyard. What is a double lanyard? Please give an explanation, give an example how to operate it. And then for the machinery, consider with machine guards and also, please try to make an explanation what is lock out, tag out procedure. This is the important things, especially for this topic today, for the preparation for your midterm exam. And then we know if we consider about safety, the safety is everyone's share responsibility. So this is kind of responsibility if we consider about the safety. Yeah, this is it. This is end of this slide for our class today. Any question? Ina? All good?
Also, I have a question, Pak.
Yeah.
For the UTS,
For the
what's the main for the UTS?
for
What's
midterm
the
exam. Oh,
yeah,
for
Mr.
midterm exam, I think I will explain. I don't have any kind of keyword or something, but I will make a review in the end of this meeting. Oh, not this meeting, but in this 7 week, in week 7, I will try to make a review, try and make a note for all of you, especially for midterm exam preparation. But I will make a review start from the first week until the last letter, until the 6th. Because for the topics, we have 4 before, right? Start from the first, it is about discuss about the safety and then types of error, and then continue with mitigation for the today. And we have discussed about with mitigation, about the accident theory. Yeah, please also consider about the accident theory, especially for domino theory. We only have 4, but for the 3 weeks, for the 3 meetings, we will consider for your presentation. That's why I hope next week you can present about the assignment for all of you for the project. But I will inform you this week first. Yeah, I will try to arrange what should be provided by your team. And I hope it is a team. So only one team in our class. Because I will give a team, I will arrange the team, the group for other class also for the regular class. Any question?
Okay, Pak. Thank you, Pak, for the answer.
Okay, my pleasure. Okay, if no question, maybe this is the end of our meeting today. Oh yeah, don't forget to fill the attendance sheet. Please wait